Ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, welcome to yet another episode of World Series Shenanigans in 1977. It's time for the Boston Sports News Talk from Big Beefy E's Boston Ballers Beat. And here's the host that will bring you all the Boston sports news, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Episode 1777 of the show, and this is the 7th edition of Big Beefy E's Boston Ballers Beat, the segment where I talk about Boston sports and sports from other cities. We're going to talk. We'll talk a little bit about what's been going on in sports. We know we have a World Series going on. 20 years ago, this happened, and I'm really proud to be a Red Sox fan. And we'll address the baseball World Series situation because we had a situation last night that happened. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Right now, the Patriots miraculously got a win over the New York Jets, shattering, actually breaking a 6-game losing streak by defeating Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets by a score of 25-22. If you saw my live reaction on the David 3000 Network, as you know, I reacted to the game, and it was a great game overall. Lee was changing back and forth. It was a heck of a game, and But the Jets, kind of faltered a little bit. And I think with Aaron Rodgers, you would think the Jets would have a pretty good chance of winning. But the New England Patriots, they came through, and after the Ramondre Stevenson touchdown to win the game for the Patriots, which is really good with the 2-point conversion successful. I gotta say, despite the fact that Drake May had left the game in the first half due to a concussion, and he's still on concussion protocol. So if he's going to be ready against the Titans this Sunday, we'll find out for sure when we get there. The Bruins are struggling right now. They're in last place, tied for last place with the Sabres and the Canadiens at 4-5, losing to the Philadelphia Flyers last night in hockey 2-0. I think the Bruins, I'll tell you one thing, they're going through a very tough time. They can't beat the Florida Panthers, the reigning defending Stanley Cup champs in the playoffs, and they had the best. A couple of years ago, they had the best record in the NHL, and this year they lost to an expansion team, the Utah Hockey Club, twice. So there's that. But we got the Celtics. The Celtics have been stepping up their game. A lot of people, say, "Oh, Steve Kerr did not do this." Listen, when you trash talk about the Celtics and their players, no matter what you are, whether you work for ESPN or you're a journalist or you're an opposing coach or something like that, when you disrespect a player in a manner where I can't play you, or you're not good enough, you motivate that player to play better. And once you basically motivated the players to be playing better. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The reason why the Celtics have won the championship last year because those two players were motivated. They helped out their teammates. Look at Peyton Pritchard could be in line for a 6-man award this year. The way Peyton Pritchard's been playing. One out shooting threes like crazy. I mean, we're talking the Celtics here are trying to defend their title, their 18th championship, has more world championships than any other team in the NBA today. And I got to tell you, right now, the Celtics have been on a roll. For 4-0 right now, are they a threat to go perfect 82-0? I don't know. I don't think so. But will they have a best record in the NBA? Might be, probably. It all depends on how well they play. If they can stay healthy throughout the rest of the season and go through the playoffs next year, Celtics could end up winning number 19. I don't know. It's only a matter of time. And I know, was it Josh Hart said something along the lines of, "Get these guys checked for drugs." It's called motivation. That's the ultimate drug they needed. Motivation. Motivation was the Celtics drug. They got it in their system, and boom. That's the only thing. If you want to check them out, motivation. That's what they had. Motivation. That's their drug. Celtics had motivation, and they were motivated. And I'll tell you one thing: and people keep trashing the Celtics like Josh Hart just did. They're gonna start proving you wrong again. Bulletin board material, folks. That's how our New England sports teams work. I think that's the reason why I think most of our, we've been spoiled for 25 years. Okay, here us New England sports fans, and I will tell you why. Yes, I'm counting 1990 because the Red Sox did make the playoffs in 1999, all the way to ALCS. They lost to the Yankees. A little bit more about the Yankees. Our New England sports teams have won a total of 13 championships in the past 25 years. 6 Super Bowls for the New England Patriots. 4 World Series rings for the Red Sox. 2 NBA titles for the Celtics. And 1 Stanley Cup for the Bruins. And, yeah, sometimes we have to be brought... our New England teams need to be brought back down to earth a little bit. Yeah. It takes a lot of removal of players, key players who have big keys to the successes of these players. Once you remove them, that's it. And sometimes you have to rebuild them back up to where they used to be, And, hey, right now the Celtics had that rebuilding. All of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom. Since the pandemic, they've been in the playoffs every year. Since the pandemic, that's since the pandemic hit, Celtics have been in the playoffs every single year. That's a good thing, And hey, they've been in the thick of things. But before we can conclude this video, I want to talk about last night's World Series. Yankees did beat the Dodgers 11-4, and as you know, Game 5 is tonight, the final home game for the Yankees for the season, because the Dodgers have home field advantage. And last night during the play, Gleyber Torres hit a ball to right field. Mookie Betts was on his horse. He basically caught the ball. But there were 2 Yankee fans there that one of them grabbed the glove and tried to pry the ball out of Mookie's hand. Mookie's glove. While the other Yankee fan held his non-gloved hand. Now, a lot of people would probably ask me, since I am a Red Sox fan, what do I think about this? Now, because these 2 gentlemen got their names by the name Austin Capabianco and John Peter. Gentlemen, this is the reason why the Red Sox fans do not like the Yankees. Their fan base, about the majority of the fan base, I would say 75-25. 75, majority of their fan base act not obnoxious, brag about 27 rings, and interfere in plays. Now, you talk about the Jeffrey Meyer play back in, 96? I do believe. ALCS 96. I know it was in the 90s, that I know, because they were playing against the Orioles. Now, but it was an inadvertent reaction from him. And he was a 12-year-old kid at the time. Then you got these 2 guys, these 2 grown men, who should spend like $2,000 on a World Series ticket, first of all, and decided to interfere with a catch made by Mookie Betts. Umpires were smart enough to see that and say, interference, he's out. I mean, seriously. Austin Capabianco and John Peter, a.k.a. Beavis and Butthead. That's what I'm calling them. Beavis and Butthead, that's right. Because they were stupid enough to interfere in play. They got caught in camera. You guys, there's cameras. It's a nationally televised game. I don't know what you 2 were thinking when doing that, because now everybody knows your butts. In fact, I'm going to give a shout out to an independent baseball team, the Carolina Disco Turkeys. That's right, that is exact. There's a name called the Carolina Disco Turkeys. They banned these 2 gentlemen, lifetime ban from all their games. Smart move on the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Now, normally I was going to talk about the subject on Rant and Rave tomorrow night, but it's a Halloween special. I'll talk about something else. But let me hear me out here. Even though I'm a Red Sox fan, all right. I know some Yankee. I have some friends of mine who are Yankee fans. Even they know better. They probably, okay, the Yankee fans, those Yankee fan friends of mine, probably wouldn't do something as crazy as Mr. Copa Bianco and John Peter did last night. You know, I know some Yankee fans that love the game, love the history of the game, love to talk about the game. In fact, 5 years ago, a friend of mine who was a Yankee fan passed away. You know, he used to be a radio DJ for a local radio station here in New Bedford. Well, actually in Fairhaven, from 107. His name is J.R. Wrights, and he was a Yankee fan. When the Red Sox won the World Series back in 2018, and I posted about it because I was really excited, he congratulated me. That is how classy he is. There's some Yankee fans out there that are very classy and respectful. And I applaud. And some of the Yankee fans were not very happy about those two guys that made that, mess with Mookie Betts. Some of them know it was not right, and they want the Yankees to do the right thing and ban them. And to all those Yankee fans out there who oppose what these two gentlemen have done, thank you very much. And I salute you because you guys showed you have a respect for the game. And you guys, and those Yankee fans probably well know and smart in their minds going, these guys, they disrespected the game like that. There's people watching all over the world. They're watching in Japan because of Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers. People all over the world watch the game. These two Yankee fans, Mr. Capabianco and John Peter, they don't realize and understand that. Oh, we're going to defend our turf. Dudes, this is a nationally televised game. People are going to know you, and they're going to hate you two gentlemen for the rest of your lives. You don't realize, there's some people in New York that hail you as heroes. Shame on those people. I'm sorry. But it's not right. I went to a few Red Sox games. I sat in some decent seats, took in the atmosphere. I wish I had a camera. I would have taken pictures of the games, and just sat there and enjoyed the games. Even if I get seats near the players, I would say, hi, good play, or say, shake it off, don't worry about it, we got this. I would enjoy the game and sit there, talk to a few fans, high five them, order something to eat at the game. I know everything at the game's now expensive nowadays and all that. I would have enjoyed the game. If a foul ball comes my way, I'll try to catch it. If it's in the vicinity of play, I'll hold up to see what the outfielder is going to do or the infielder is going to do and all that, and just wait. And if you ask when to catch them, I'm trying to respect the game. These two gentlemen did not respect the game. If they respected the game, they would have left that ball alone and let Mookie catch it. Mookie Betts could have gotten hurt on that play. So Austin Copacabianco and John Peter are a couple of stupid idiots. And this is a moral of the situation. Keep your hands to yourself next time. Don't try to assault players or anything like that. Let the players play the game. If you're not a player and you're not part of the game, stay out of it. Just sit there, enjoy the game, let the players play their game. What Mr. Capabianco and Mr. Peter did was disgraceful. Reprehensible. It shouldn't be allowed in any game. Now, those two may be public enemies number one all over the country. But for those in New York who laud them as heroes, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You should understand it was a nationally televised game. Because you'd be scaring away some potential people that want to visit New York and want to see a Yankee game live. Just because. That's probably disrespectful for people to laud these two gentlemen as heroes. Because they're not heroes. You should, instead of lauding people who are interfering with plays and trying to hurt other players as heroes, you guys should be lauding heroes like Mariano Rivera and Derek Jeter. Those two guys have helped you win championships. They're the heroes for the Yankees. You guys got Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton. They got to the World Series. They should be your heroes. You should be applauding them. Not fans who interfere with other outfielders' plays. Guys need to think about this. Now maybe you're thinking, what about that fan that took a swipe at Gary Sheffield at Fenway Park of the Red Sox? Well, that fan was already been taken care of. I'm sure that whole situation has been taken care of 20 years ago. You know why? Remember Malice in the Palace? Ron Artest? Need I say more? People should be looking back at that and go, this is what you should not be doing. Like I go to a wrestling events, and ring announcer says, don't throw anything at the wrestlers and all that, or you'll be kicked out, or get involved, or you'll be kicked out, and we don't want you to get kicked out, we want you to have a good time. I go to a wrestling event, I sit there, or I stand there, enjoy, high five the wrestlers, shout, scream, cheer, have a lot of fun. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I like having fun. I can do it without getting involved in the action or something like that. Although this year at the Portuguese Feast, I got a chance to chop a wrestler. It was a lot of fun. That was the only time. Because the other wrestlers say, hey, you want to chop him? Okay, whap. I try to do it to make them sell it, But bottom line is, if you go to a sporting event, if you want to have a good time, don't get involved in the game itself. If you're not a player, don't get involved. You're going to get hurt. I've seen fans act like idiots in baseball. I mean, running around on the field. Two guys beat up a first base coach at a White Sox Royals game, I do believe. I think it was back in the 80s. A couple guys tried to burn an American flag for protesting, and one of the players had to swoop in and take the American flag away from them. One guy tried to propose to his girlfriend on the field just to get tackled by a security guard. I mean, seriously. One guy in Fenway Park ran out into the field and got tackled by a security guard. Another reason why I don't do alcohol or do drugs or smoke. I want to think straight and think right. Bottom line is, guys, keep your hands to yourself. If you're going to a game, enjoy the game, just keep your hands to yourself. Okay? Don't get banned. That's all I got. That's all I had. That's all I felt about that situation last night. Hopefully it'll be a better game tonight. And we shall say what happens. So thank you for tuning in to episode 1777 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Big Beefy East Boston Ballers Beat. Chapter episode number 7. Until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.